Hello students, how are you? So in the previous video we have completed the chapter. Now let's discuss the NCERT exercise, but before that let's take a look at the keywords and what have you learned. Okay, and before that I need to tell you that students, please complete the notes of all the chapters that has been discussed. Okay, the notes will be checked once you arrive to the school. Okay, because each and every chapter has been discussed, the NCERT exercise has been discussed, so it is your duty now to complete the work. Okay, now let's come back to the chapter: weather, climate and adaptations. Some of the keywords in this chapter were adaptation, we have already discussed; climate, we have discussed; elements of weather, discussed; humidity, we discussed that amount of water vapor; maximum temperature; migration, we have discussed it; minimum temperature; polar region; tropical rainforest; tropical region; and weather. Okay, there are other also. Now what have you learned? First point: the day to day condition of the atmosphere at a place with respect to the temperature, humidity, rainfall, wind speed, etc. is called the weather at that place. Okay, the day to day condition of the atmosphere at a place with respect to the temperature, humidity, rainfall, wind speed, etc. is called the weather at that place. Second, the weather is generally not the same on any 2 days and week after week. Okay, we have discussed that weather keeps on changing. Okay, sometimes it may be that today is a sunny day, the next day may be a rainy day, okay, or a cloudy day. So weather may not be same each and every day. Okay students, third point: the maximum temperature of the day occurs generally in the afternoon while the minimum temperature occurs in the early morning. Very important thing this is: the maximum temperature of the day occurs generally in the afternoon while the minimum temperature occurs in the early morning. Okay, and I discussed that we measure the maximum and minimum temperature with the help of special thermometer that is known as the maximum minimum thermometer. Okay, the other two kinds of thermometer we discussed, like clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. Okay, this is the third kind, maximum minimum thermometer. Okay, and I also told you that it is not such that the maximum temperature is for a very long period of time, it may be for a short duration only. Okay, but once it has been recorded, it is said to be the highest temperature of the day. Okay, next, the times of sunrise and sunset also change during the year. Okay, this we also discussed. Next point: all the changes in the weather are driven by the sun. Definitely, we discussed that the amount of heat radiations reaching the earth's surface in different places determines the temperature of that place. For example, when we discussed of tropical area, we discussed that the heat radiations from the suns are directly overhead on the tropical region, and that's why what happens, the more and more heat reaches the earth's surface and the tropical region gets heated more, so the temperature is there high. But what happens in polar regions, since they are at the poles of the earth, so the sun heat radiations do not reach directly. Okay, most of them are lost, so that's why the temperature there is not high over there, it is cold temperature. Okay, so it is all due to the sun, the heat radiations coming from the sun. Okay, next one: the average weather pattern taken over a long time, say 25 years, is called the climate of the place. The average weather pattern taken over a long time is called the climate of the place. Next, the tropical and the polar regions are the two regions of the earth which have severe climatic conditions. Okay, we have discussed that the temperature of the tropical region is hot and humid. Yes, and the polar region is cold and dry. Okay students, remember these things, these are very important words. The temperature of the tropical rainforest, or you can say the tropical region, is hot and humid, lot of water vapor is present, but the climate, or you can say the polar regions are very cold and dry. The amount of water vapor is very less. Why? Because see, the temperature is so low that the water vapor even present in the atmosphere, it also converts into the form of snow. Okay, so that's why the maximum precipitation that occurs is in the forms of snow. Okay. Animals are adapted to the conditions in which they live. We discussed that adaptation is a feature or certain special features in the organism which help it to survive in a particular climate. Okay, and if an organism does not have that special features, then what does it do? It migrates from the place. For example, in the case of Siberian crane, okay, when the conditions become extremely unfavorable or extremely harsh, then those organisms migrate from that place for few you can say for some times, and then again return back to the home when the normal conditions arrive. Okay. Next one, the polar regions are very cold throughout the year. The sun does not set for 6 months in a year, and in other 6 months it does not rise. Very important thing. We discussed this. We discussed with respect to the horizon that in the polar regions the sun does not set for the 6 months, and in other 6 months it does not rise. Okay. Animals in the polar regions are adapted to the extremely cold climate by having some special characteristics such as white fur, strong sense of smell, a layer of fat under the skin, wide and large paws for swimming and walking, etc. Okay, these are the features of the animals living in the polar region, or we can say the special features that is for adaptation. Animals in the polar region are adapted to the extremely cold climate by having some special characteristics such as white fur, strong sense of smell, a layer of fat under the skin, wide and large paws for swimming and walking, etc. Migration is another means to escape the harsh and cold conditions. We have discussed it. When if organism does not have that special adaptations, then it can migrate from that place for few time or sometimes. Okay. Because of the hospitable climatic conditions, huge populations of plants and animals are found in the tropical rainforest. Okay. Because of the hospitable climatic conditions, huge population of plants and animals are found in the tropical rainforest. Hospitable climate, you can say the favorable climate. If the climate will be unfavorable, then there will be less number of plants and animals. As in polar region, they are very limited. You can see, okay, if you will see the polar region, then there are very limited population of plants and animals. But in tropical rainforest, because of presence of hospitable climate, or you can say favorable climate, there is a huge populations of plants and animals. Animals in the tropical rainforest are adapted such that they set different kinds of food to overcome the competition for food and shelter. Okay. Animals in the tropical rainforest are adapted such that they eat different kinds of food to overcome the competition for food and shelter. Means that there is a large population of animals over there. So if they will have more animals will have a common food, then there will be shortage of the food. Okay, so they eat different kinds of food to overcome the competition of food and shelter. Okay, maybe some animals have common food but not more, otherwise there will be shortage of the food. Okay, and ultimately they have to die if they will not get the food or they will not get the energy. Food is the ultimate source of the energy for the living organism, or you can say animals. Plant can synthesize their own food with the help of sunlight, so no problem for them. But animals, they are dependent on either plants or other animals for the food. Okay, so if they will have a common food, then what will happen? There will be the scarcity of that food, and ultimately after some times the animal will die because of the scarcity of food, or you can say because of not getting the energy. Okay. Some adaptations of animals living in tropical rainforest include living on the trees, development of strong tails, long and large beaks, bright colors, sharp patterns, loud voice, diet of fruits, sensitive hearing, sharp eyesight, thick skin, ability to camouflage in order to protect themselves from predators, etc. Okay, these are very important adaptations of the organism that are living in the tropical rainforest. Again, what are these? That living on the trees, development of strong tails. In the case we discussed of the lion-tailed macaque. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. And then long and large beaks, we also discussed about it. Bright colors, sharp patterns, loud voice, diet of fruits, sensitive hearing, sharp eyesight, thick skin, ability to camouflage in order to protect themselves from predators. What is camouflage? Camouflage is the ability to mix up in the surroundings, or you can say the match up with the surrounding colors, so that the predator cannot easily catch its prey. Okay. So these were some points, and go through them again, and then we will be discussing the exercise. Okay. This time has been given you to read these statements. Okay, these are very important. Okay students, now let's discuss the exercise. Okay, first question, name the elements that determine the weather of a place. Name the elements that determine the weather of a place. We have discussed it. The answer is temperature, rainfall, humidity and wind are the elements that determine the weather of a place. I repeat the answer, temperature, rainfall, humidity and wind are the elements that determine the weather of a place. Okay. Question number second, when are the maximum and minimum temperatures likely to occur during the day? When are the maximum and minimum temperatures likely to occur during the day? This also we have discussed. The answer is the maximum temperature during the day occurs in afternoon, whereas minimum temperature during the day, whereas the minimum temperature occurs in the early morning. Okay, the maximum temperature during the day occurs in the afternoon, whereas the minimum temperature occurs in the early morning. Next question, question number 3, fill in the blanks. First, the average weather taken over a long time is called climate. Okay, the average weather of a place taken over a long time is called climate. Next one, second, a place receives very little rainfall and the temperature is high throughout the year, the climate of that place will be dash and dash. Okay, read the question again. A place receives very little rainfall. Very little rainfall means the temperature will be dry. Okay, because amount of humidity, or you can say the water vapor in the surrounding will be less, and temperature is high, so it will be, the climate will be hot. So the answer will be hot and dry. Okay, the place receives very little rainfall and the temperature is high throughout the year. The climate of that place will be hot and dry. For example, desert. Okay, so the answer of second will be hot and dry. Third, the two regions of the earth with extreme climatic conditions are dash and dash. You know that, tropical and polar region. The two regions of the earth with extreme climatic conditions are tropical and polar region. Okay, clear? Next, question number 4th. Indicate the type of climate in the following areas. This question, student, you have to do by yourself. Okay, you have to search and then write the kind of climates that is in these states. Okay, you can also add some of the states by yourselves by searching if you get the climate of some more states or the state in which you live. Okay, so you can also write about them. Okay, question number 5th. Which of the two changes frequently, weather or climate? Again, which of the two changes frequently, weather or climate? The question is asking which of the following keep changing continuously, okay, or quickly. So it is climate or weather? The answer is weather. Okay, so the answer is weather changes frequently. Weather changes frequently in comparison to climate, full stop. Weather keeps on changing. Weather keeps on changing day after day, day after day, and week after week. Day after day and week after week. Question number 6th. Following are some of the characteristics of animals. The 10 characteristics are given: diets heavy on fruits, white fur, need to migrate, loud voice, sticky pads on feet, layer of fat under the skin, white and large paws, bright colors, strong tails, long and large beak. For each characteristic, indicate whether it is adaptation for tropical rainforests or polar region. Do you think that some of these characteristics can be adapted for both regions? Okay, so let's see which characteristic is adapted for which region. First one, diets heavy on fruits. It is for tropical rainforest. Okay, first one is tropical rainforest. Second, white fur, definitely polar region. We know, example, polar bear. Okay, second, white fur, polar region. You have to just write the region. Okay, third, need to migrate, polar region. We have seen the example of Siberian crane, because when it is extremely cold then it migrates. Okay, so need to migrate is polar region. Fourth, loud voice, tropical rain forest. Okay, fifth, sticky pads on feet, again tropical rain forest. Why? Because they need to climb up the trees. Okay, sixth, layer of fat under the skin, definitely, no doubt about it, it is, answer is polar region. Okay, wide and large paws, again polar region. Eighth, bright colors, tropical rain forest. Okay, so that it help in camouflage. Ninth, strong tails, again tropical rain forest, like lion-tailed macaque. 10th, long and large beaks, again this is the example, or you can say adaptation of tropical rain forest. Okay, question number 7th. The tropical rainforest has a large population of animals. Explain why it is so. Okay, so the answer is hot and humid temperature, hot and humid temperature and continuous rainfall, hot and humid temperature and continuous rainfall in the tropical rainforest suits suits the survival of many organisms hence tropical rainforest has a large population of animals. Hence, tropical rainforest has a large population of animals. Okay, hot and humid temperature and continuous rainfall in the tropical rainforest suits the survival of many organisms. Hence, the tropical rainforest has a large population. Okay. Question number 8. Explain with examples why we find animals of certain kind living in particular climatic conditions. The answer is animals are adapted to survive in the conditions in which they live. Animals are adapted to survive in the conditions in which they live. Full stop. Animals living in very hot and cold climates must have some special features so that they can protect themselves from extremely cold and hot conditions. Full stop. For example, polar bear living in cold climates have white fur on its body. This helps polar bear to catch its prey. It also has a thick layer of fat under the skin. So that it can survive the extreme cold conditions. Similarly, the red-eyed frog living in tropical forests has sticky pads so that it can climb the trees easily. Question number 9. How do elephant living in the tropical rainforest adapt itself? Okay. The adaptation in elephants are first, it uses trunk as nose to have strong sense of smell. Second, the trunk also helps the elephants to eat food. Third, large ears of elephant helps them to hear very soft sound. Large ears of elephants help them to hear very soft sounds, and also keeps them cool during the hot and humid conditions of tropical region. Next, the modified teeth of the elephant helps it to tear the food okay. So these are the adaptation of elephant. Now question number 10th, choose the correct options which answers of the following. A carnivore with stripes on its body moves very fast while catching its prey. It is likely to be found in polar regions, deserts, oceans, tropical rainforest. A carnivore with stripes on its body moves very fast while catching its prey. The answer will be tropical rainforest. Question number 11th, which features adapt polar bears to live in extremely cold climate? First option, a white fur, fat below skin, keen sense of smell. Second, thin skin, large eyes, a white fur. Third, a long tail, strong claws, wide large paws. Fourth, wide body, paws for swimming, gills for respiration. So which is the correct option? The correct option is first, a white fur, fat below skin, keen sense of smell. Okay. Question number 12th, which option best describes a tropical region? First, hot and humid. Second, moderate temperature, heavy rainfall. Third, cold and humid. Fourth, hot and dry. Now fourth option cannot be true. Yeah, it is hot but it is not dry because of the rainfall. Cold, it is wrong. It can be humid but it cannot be cold. Okay. Second cannot be true because moderate temperature and heavy rainfall. No. So the correct answer is first, hot and humid. The correct option of the 12th is first, hot and humid. The correct option which describes a tropical region is hot and humid. Okay. So students, this completes the exercise of this chapter. Now it's your turn to complete the chapter, to make the complete notes, to complete the exercise in your copy, and also learn it. Okay, not just making notes is not important, you have to learn the concepts that have been told to you. Okay students, and take care of yourselves, stay inside the house. Thank you.